Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. Rick, do you know what time it is? It's Grey Cup, baby! The 100...
Grey Cup edition.
Absolutely. The 110th Grey Cup is here. We have been covering it this entire season. We've covered the last season. This will be our first season at CFL Central covering it fully with Rick here for Grey Cup. So,
in person.
There you go. Rick's there. He's got his Grey Cup jersey. He's got his Grey Cup hat in front of his Hamilton
And
Tiger Cats
also,
Grey Cup banner flag.
Do not forget that we will also have CFL Central at the awards Thursday.
That is true. So make sure you guys stay tuned because we're going to have a video out about the CFL awards. As Rick is going to be in attendance, he's going to get some footage. He's going to get some nice spicy stuff.
Front row.
Are you front row?
So they sell the tickets on the balcony because I guess all the players and families all on the floor.
Are you the front row of the balcony?
So I got front row, balcony, aisle seat.
There you go.
Seat one.
Got one of the gonna have one of the best seats of the house at the CFL awards. We're
That's
gonna make
right.
sure to get all the good stuff for that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We have a lot to talk about today. This is going to be the longest preview we have done of a single game this entire season. And of course it is. It's Grey Cup. There is so much to go into, so much history. Starting off with the fact that, again, the CFL is not a large league. There are 9 teams. Haven't always been 9. Sometimes be a little more. Sometimes be a little less. This is the first time the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have ever played against the Montreal Alouettes in the Grey Cup game. So it's interesting because there's no season. There's no franchise history in the finals against these two. So clean slate.
I was gonna say, don't forget. While back when Winnipeg and Montreal were both in the East before you guys got moved over to the West.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Because Winnipeg is so East. So incredibly East. Yeah, no, we got but it's one of those things. It's kind of crazy when you think about it that, both of these teams being around as long as they have, and it's just never happened. But, like you said, that does make sense. In a way. Now, we have a lot to chat about here. Now, I think it's best we start with the present. In the sense of, let's talk about the teams that are good, that not just the fact that the Bombers and the Alouettes, but what Bombers squad and what Alouette squad is going into this game. Now, firstly, there are 2 injuries that we need to be aware of. One of them looks like a maybe. The other one is a maybe on the side of I don't know how they can do it. And those 2 injuries are both for the Bombers. That is linebacker number 4, Adam Bighill, and wide receiver number 83, Dalton Schoen. Now, with Dalton Schoen, he obviously did not play the West Final. He hasn't played that last game of the season. Dalton Schoen was a maybe for a while about playing the West Final. Giving him another week, Dalton Schoen might be ready to go for the Bombers in this game. It's very possible that he is. Adam Bighill is the big question. And it's not because Adam Bighill is not a tough man. He very, very much is. But Adam Bighill, he was carted off the field at IG Field for the West Final. He was not walking to the back on his own 2 feet. And so when I see that because Adam Bighill absolutely is walking off on his own 2 feet if he can. If he's not able to, which it didn't look like he was, then that is a little bit concerning. Now, one thing to keep in mind, who swapped to the center linebacker position, that's where Malik Clements, he was on the outside, he went into the middle. And Malik Clements was able to have great success. He got 2 sacks in that game against the BC Lions. But yeah, it's one of those things where if you're the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, obviously these are 2 key guys that may possibly both be out of this game. Is it possible both could be in this game? Yes, but very unlikely that it's both. It's more likely that Dalton Schoen is ready for this game and Adam Bighill is forced to ride the pine on the sidelines. So what is your thoughts on these two injuries for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
Well, I think if it's going to hurt you guys, I think the Schoen injury will hurt you guys more than the Bighill injury will.
Interesting.
Only because, I mean, Schoen's your guys' golden goose.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at his rookie year last year that he had with you guys.
He was absolutely phenomenal. There's no doubt about that.
Now, just a quick note to go over, because we don't have the injury results for whatever reason. So just going over some of the ones that Montreal had last week. Julian Grant, I don't see him playing this week. He was out for a shoulder injury. He's been on the 6th game for God who knows how long.
Yeah.
Reggie White Jr. hasn't practiced at all this year, or hasn't played at all this year. Tyrell Richards and Pierre Oliver Lesgate were both doubtful, which I can see the offensive lineman playing, but not the linebacker. Because, I mean, like they always say, if it ain't broken, why fix it?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's true.
With how well Montreal's defense did against Toronto last week.
No,
that was 2 weeks ago. My bad. That wasn't last week.
Was that against the Ticats?
That was against the Ticats. So let's take a look at this one. Yeah, Worthy was out last week.
Yep.
Which, I mean, after that one rookie did what he did last week, why even dress Worthy? Like, I honestly can see Worthy getting released by Montreal in the offseason.
I see. Yeah, well, whether that happens, whether that doesn't, we'll cover it here on CFL Central. You know how that goes.
So there's two games that I want to bring up.
Yep.
One is game 1 on July 1st that I was in attendance at this game.
Okay, so this was
where
week,
you guys...
Was this like week 3 or 4?
Week 4.
Week 4?
4.
Yeah.
This is where you guys won 17-3.
Yes. Yes, I remember this game.
This was my travel too. Yeah, so
this game would be a very strange game for the Bombers. So if I'm looking here, Oliveira would go 119 yards on 20 rushes though. So not the same amount of yardage per rush that he was typically able to put up. So that is a key thing to note. Dalton Schoen was very much leading the charge in the receiving department with 93 receiving yards, followed by Wolotarski far back in 38 with 38, and then it drifts down there as Dalton Schoen, Drew Wolotarski, and Greg McCrae would be the ones getting receiving touchdowns for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in this game. No rushing touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for Zach Caleros. So kind of an interesting way for them. With Cody Fajardo, he go 17 for 27. He go 1-1 on touchdowns and interceptions. And this was kind of a strange game because with was this right?
Just one side note, there was no touchdowns because they only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter. So it was only one interception. No, that's true. The one pick, I don't know why my thing's saying a touchdown. That's wrong. Because obviously they didn't. Stanback would be leading the charge with 42 yards rushing on 8 rushes. However, it was definitely the receiving core, and most importantly, Julian Grant as well as Austin Mack that were carrying it in this game, as it is so goddamn lopsided, with 2 receivers going over 100 yards, and then everyone else failing to get double fucking digits. So kind of a strange thing there. So I will say a key thing to come out of this first game between the two of them was that the Alouettes had not been able to fully kind of put this team together and get them playing as a cohesive unit. I mean, you just take a look at that. You had 2 receivers getting triple digits, and then the rest of them couldn't even get goddamn double digits.
So it's one of those things where I think they've massively improved the way they use their receiving core and just ensuring that they're not just throwing to Austin Mack and they're not just throwing to Julian Grant or whatever, and using other guys like Tyler Snead and Justin Philpott and all that, making sure that they get their usage out of that. And I think that's pretty much. Is there anything else?
Nope, that's it for that game. The other game is Week 12, where Winnipeg actually showed up this game, where you guys beat them 47-17.
Yeah. No, this was definitely the strongest performance for the Bombers out of all these. Where the Bombers, this was a game at home. Caleros would go 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, so 3 picks still thrown. 240 yards passing. And then you'd also, it's funny, Nick Dembski would go for a pass in this game. He'd go 0-1, but Nick Dembski does try to throw the ball once in this game, which I just find funny. Oliveira, obviously over 100 yards. And then the Bombers kind of more of a wide array on the receiving core with Nick Dembski, Kenny Lawler, Dalton Schoen, and Rasheed Bailey in that exact order, kind of running it down there. But 2 touchdowns for Dalton Schoen. So another important thing, it looks like Dalton Schoen being able to put up a strong performance against the Alouettes. So if you're the Bombers, you want Dalton Schoen ready for this game, if possible. Sergio Castillo would go 2 for 3 on field goals, and then this obviously had Greg McCrae returning as Janarian Grant was out injured. If we look on the passing side of things for the Alouettes, not the greatest game for Cody Fajardo. 137 yards on 14 passes for 25 attempts. Not great. William Stanback not able to crack 40 yards. Austin Mack leading the charge, only 55 yards. And so this kind of really goes to show that the Alouettes, one of the biggest keys to their offense is their defense. And the fact that they're able to turn the ball over in very, very key positions and acquire good field position where the offense only has to push minimally. If it's not already a pick 6, I mean, we saw 2 of those last week where Chad Kelly seemingly forgot what color jerseys he was supposed to be thrown to, and the Alouettes would intercept those. 2 of them brought back for 6. And so Bombers win this 47-17, and I'll let you tack on what you wish about that game.
So, I was just looking at something. So Montreal's last loss, meaningful loss, let's put it that way, was Week 15 when they lost to Toronto by that field goal.
Yes.
After that, they beat Calgary. They won home and home against Ottawa. Edmonton. They beat us at home by 2 points. They beat us in the East Final, and then they beat Toronto. So the only technically one game that was a meaningful game was last week versus Toronto.
That's fair.
Other than that, the last couple of games weren't meaningful.
I don't think the Alouettes and Bombers played another time. They only played twice, I think, right?
No, just twice.
Yeah.
Now here's my question.
Yes.
So the game's not in Montreal. The game is not in Winnipeg. The plus side for me and other 30,000 fans that are going to be at this game is the Montreal Horns are not allowed in the stadium.
Hey, there we go. I like the sound. So, holy shit, that is fucking intolerable to hear on the TSN broadcast, and it's stupid. You want to know why? If you're a loud crowd, you make the fucking noise with your mouth. You make and it's not even a horn. Like, it's not even the ones you blow into. It's ones that you push down. You push it down with your finger.
No, it's not. No, it's like you pump it.
I know, but it's not you making the noise. It's not coming from your mouth. It's not. It's fake noise. It's like bringing in a speaker and just holding that in front of the field. I think it's so stupid.
Anyways, going back to my point, what I was going to say was, with them not able to bring them in, how do you think this neutral field, because you can't really call it home field because there's It's not a home
That's true.
game for either team. How do you think this 30,000 fan attendance is going to work out for both teams?
How do I think this is 30,000 fan attendance is going to work out? So I think the Bombers' presence will be decent for the simple fact that the Bombers, because of the fact that the Bombers have been a team that have been successful, and it's kind of been expected that they would be successful, whether you'd expect they're going to the Grey Cup or not. It's one of those things that when Grey Cup tickets come available, Bombers fans, because of the team is doing well, are more inclined to make that purchase because there's a higher chance of their team actually being in that game. So it's one of those things where I expect the Bombers will at least have a good showing. Obviously, there's going to be tons and tons of Ticat fans, as we are in Hamilton. No?
Not more than you think, because the second that Hamilton got eliminated, every fan, mother, husband, wife that you know of was on Facebook and on Ticketmaster selling their tickets. So, I mean, there's still the only Ticat fans that actually still have tickets to this game are actually diehard fans.
So I'd say the only Ticat fans that are going to be at this game are probably more the ones that are more general CFL fans as well, not just Ticat fans.
Well, pretty much, because I mean, people want to go there to see Green Day play at halftime. You know, they want to be able to, because this will probably be our last
Grey Cup experience.
For many years to come.
At Tim Hortons Field, yeah. Although I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in the regard of you guys got a few buildings in the area there, so even if the Ticats aren't hosting it, if pretty much any East team is hosting it, it's a driving distance, whether it's whether it's convenient or inconvenient.
My ass will be driving to those games.
There you go. Exactly. I probably won't be in BC for the Grey Cup next year, but when the Grey Cup's in Winnipeg, baby, 2025, I know I'll for sure be at that one. And so, but yeah, no. So yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Now, so we talked about the teams in terms of leading up to that. Now Rick found this wonderful file that he has supplied me with about all of the factors going into this game. I don't even know where you found this. I actually can't believe it.
This was on CFL.ca, by the way.
This is on CFL.ca. This is just brilliant. So if we're going to, so we'll
start at the top.
We'll start. You want to start top page 1?
Okay.
So this is going to talk firstly about the historical matters and Grey Cup quarterbacks. So as Carter previously mentioned, this is the first Grey Cup between any team from Montreal and Winnipeg. Now the only East-West Grey Cup match that has not taken place. Do you know what that is, Carter, without even looking at the paper? Without looking at
the
paper? Would you
have guessed? Yeah, without looking at it.
Okay, so I'm going to guess that Ottawa is involved.
Okay, that's one.
It's probably not Edmonton. Because I also have to think the Rough Riders. It's probably not Edmonton because Edmonton's been around forever.
It's not Edmonton.
It's probably not Saskatchewan. It's probably not Winnipeg. Is it BC?
It is BC.
It is BC.
It is
there
BC.
We go. Well, no, because I was thinking Edmonton, Saskatchewan, and Winnipeg have been around forever. And I was like, Calgary's been around for a while. And then I was like, I don't think BC has been around forever. I think they've and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just full of shit. My logic was flawed and I just got luckily stumbled into that. But I especially now, the Elks and the Stamps, they've been around for forever.
Yeah. So Edmonton has ended their longest active Grey Cup drought at 11 straight games without an appearance between 2011 and 2022.
Yep.
Winnipeg is the fourth club to reach 4 straight Grey Cups. Edmonton was 6 from 77 to 82.
Yep.
Regina was 5 from 28 to 32. And Hamilton was 5, 61 to 65.
Yes.
Alouettes have overcome one of the largest gaps in regular season victories to win their Grey Cup final. So, The gap. So the first gap was 1989. They had a -7 gap, and that was from third place.
When you say -7, what do you mean? -7 what?
It just says largest gaps in regular season victories. I guess. Okay, so it's
okay.
Their wins minus their losses.
Interesting. Yeah, so it looked like so there is Saskatchewan from third place.
1989, and they beat the Edmonton 16-2. Funny fact. 81 was -6, where Edmonton or Ottawa is 5-11, and they beat the Hamilton 11-4-1 to reach the Grey Cup with the poorest regular season record. 88 was Winnipeg 9-9 when they beat
Toronto
the 14-4 to win the Grey Cup.
Yep.
And then this year it's 11-7 with a -5 gap where they beat the 16-2.
Yep.
Toronto.
Montreal's previous best was 3 fewer wins in 78 and 1949. Now, one thing I think, and then, okay, so I was actually about to mention this, and then I saw it on the sheet. So Zach Collaros is also, he's slated to start in the Grey Cup for the 4th consecutive season and will be the first quarterback to do that. However, the question here is, has any QB ever started 4 consecutive Grey Cup games? The answer, no, but also yes. Hold on a second. I got to read this. Across 1939 to 1941, Ottawa was led to the Grey Cup by their QB Orville Burke. So 3 years in a row. But the 1940 Grey Cup, due to rules dispute disqualifying Winnipeg, was revised to a 2-game total points affair between Ottawa and the Balmy Beach. Since the 1940 Grey Cup was 2 games and Burke started both, that makes 4 games in a row. So technically, because the Grey Cup that year was split into 2 games. It was a very weird thing and happened only once. Zach Collaros is the first to do it for 4 consecutive Grey Cup games that were like individual, like years. But if we're talking just 4 consecutive games, he is the second to do it. So it's a little bit weird.
So technically, if he did it next year, he would be like the all-time leader.
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much already make the argument that he's the all-time leader, considering the other one, it was 2 Grey Cup games that were part of the same Grey Cup. So this is 4 consecutive different Grey Cup appearances, like because you're talking about the 110, the 109, the 108, the 107, with Orville Burke, you're talking about only 3 different Grey Cups. But just kind of an interesting fact regardless. Let's see. Otherwise, Edmonton started Warren Moon in 1980, 81, and 82. He played a major role in the 1979, but Tom Wilkinson was the starter and played the entire first half. Moon started the second half that day and led all but the final Edmonton possession. Cody Fajardo will make his first Grey Cup start. Zach Collaros, his 5th 2-2 with Hamilton and Winnipeg. Now, funny thing here is, Saskatchewan fans, you have both of your former quarterbacks who played on the same team at the same time against each other in the Grey Cup game, which probably stings a little, but that's just a very, very fun fact. With his 5th start, Collaros moves into the tie for 3rd all-time, joining Plone, Lancaster, Wilkinson, Dunnigan, and Ray. And this would be for Grey Cup starts, that is.
You know what else I'm curious is? If it's ever happened where a quarterback and offensive coordinator left the same team, went to go join another team, and they both made it to the Grey Cup the following year. So, when Fajardo and Jason Moss both left Saskatchewan last year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then they go to Montreal and they make the Grey Cup the following year. I wonder. We don't have that information, but I'm just curious as to like who the last quarterback offense coordinator duo.
I don't know if that's ever happened. What, like just at the same time?
You know, there's a first for everything.
No, that's true. That's true. But we still got a lot more to go through. We got a lot of good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So looking on to the Alouette side of things, Montreal will be playing in their 19th Grey Cup and first since 2010. They had the oldest Grey Cup appearance drought. That now falls, I think, on the BC Lions from 2011, if I'm correct. As obviously the Alouettes have made it to the 2023 game. Now, this is circled with red. I don't like that this is circled with red, but I totally understand why it is. Montreal was swept 3-0 in the regular season by Toronto, but won the division final. This is obviously circled because Winnipeg went 2-0 against the Alouettes in the regular season. Only two prior teams have turned around 0-3 sweeps in a final. BC over Calgary, Toronto over Montreal in 2000 West Final and the 2004 East Final. Montreal's current 7-game winning streak is the longest active run by any team in 2023 and longest by any team heading into the Grey Cup since Edmonton in 2015. 9 wins in a row. In the East Final, Montreal scored a touchdown via pass, rush, interception, and kickoff returns. The first club with a touchdown in 4 different ways in a playoff game since 2010, where it was Montreal versus Toronto, and a second in the past 68 years since 1955. In their 2 playoff wins, Montreal has forced 12 turnovers and committed only 2, so a plus 10 on the turnover scale, 9 by Toronto. Most since 2001, Edmonton, 12.
Damn.
Of Montreal's 65 playoff points, 36 of them, 55%, came after opponents.
Turnovers.
Turnovers, yes. There we go. They're using abbreviations. They're confusing me. In the final, after a slow start, they dominated field position, starting their last 11 drives on average at their own 49-yard line. Cody Fajardo scrambles. Over 2 games, he had 100 rushing yards on 9 carries. Pass defense, 6 interceptions for 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Deep throws against. Hamilton and Toronto completed only 3 passes combined of 20-plus depth yards. Allowed only 1 opponent touchdown in 4 red zone trips. 1 touchdown, 1 field goal, 2 turnovers forced. So Montreal being able to turn that ball over in the red zone, very much key for them. And then if we look at the pass offense, of their 48 total playoff attempts, 31 were at a depth of no more than 6 yards downfield. So, my goodness, a lot coming here out of the Alouettes. Now, if I'm looking here, there's a little bit more. Charting the Montreal route to the Grey Cup, continued. Over the 2 playoff games. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you look just below that, it kind of gives you the breakdown by percentage-wise.
Oh, I see. Do you want to go through that? You can go through it.
Yeah, so 0 for 9 yards that deep. They're 28 for 35 for 75%. So they seem like they're
this is what they're passing offense, just to make it clear to our viewers.
Yeah, so I guess under 10 yards, short passes. Medium passes, 10 to 19 yards, 3 for 7 for 43. And then 20-plus yards, 2 for 6 for 33 yards.
I mean, that's pretty much expected. It goes down as you go.
So, I mean, if you do 0 to 9, I get more often. I guess that keeps the team on the field more, like the defense on the field more.
Keeps the defense on the field more. You run the more higher risk of a turnover, having to throw the ball over and over and over again. But it's one of those things, higher completion percentage, so it makes sense. Over the last 2 playoff games, the Owls committed just a total of 6 penalties, only 1 on special teams. The second playoff kickoff return touchdown in Owls history, James Letcher, 105 yards. Against Toronto, they converted 6 times and second and long situations compared to Toronto. of just 2 of 9. Maintained a great field position. Montreal averaged starting point their own 43-yard line. Opponents averaged their own 34. So good job for the special teams for the Alouettes. And that is pretty much the Alouette side of things. For the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Winnipeg will be competing in their 28th Grey Cup. And this is also including the Peg City Pegs. Because back in 35.
God.
Because that's what they were called like almost 100 years ago for a short while.
Carter's like, why?
I was like,
shake his head, why?
I was like, guys, it was a work in progress. The Blue Bombers come in riding a 5-game win streak, longest winning run among their 4 straight Grey Cup appearances. It is their longest win streak, and there's a 4 in the streak going into the Grey Cup game since 1993 at 7 in a row. In the West Final, Winnipeg held BC to just a total of 189 total yards, the fewest allowed by a West Division winner since 2007, Saskatchewan versus BC. Did not allow BC to reach the red zone at any time and run any play closer than the Winnipeg 35-yard line. That is because the one touchdown we gave up was a fucking Hail Mary to end the half. Winnipeg forced 5 BC turnovers, which led to 13 of their 24 points, 54%, including a blocked punt touchdown. The 9 sacks recorded by the Bombers tied the CFL all-time playoff record, tied with Hamilton in 1985 and also with the Blue Bombers in 1992. They sacked Vernon Adams Jr. on 8 of BC's 13 possessions. And one of them was actually, he got sacked and then sacked the very next play to go 2 and out, which was just kind of a fun thing there. Forcing a kick or turnover on all 8, 6 2-and-outs. Generated 21 first downs on just 52 offensive plays. Converted 63% of their second down conversions. BC went 4 of 17 for only 24%. So very weak in that regard. Passes stretched the field. Of their 21 total attempts, 7 were at depth of 15 yards or more downfield. And I'll let you get into the specifics of that, Rick.
Okay, so BC went 0 to 9 yards.
This is the Bombers
13?
Passing offense.
My bad.
Against
I
BC.
meant to say BC.
No, it's all good.
So 0 to 9 yards deep is 10 of 13, which is 77%.
So pretty solid.
10 to 19 yards deep is 3 of 3 for 100%. And then 20 plus yards deep is 1 for 5 for 20%. So it looks like if you look at both teams are all about throwing it short.
Yeah, I will say the Bombers, it looks like their mid-range is kind of their sweet spot. And when it comes to this 20-plus yard depth, I am almost 100% convinced this is because Dalton Schoen is not in the lineup. Dalton Schoen is the deep ball guy for the Bombers, typically. Sometimes I'll go for Lawler for that, but Dalton Schoen is definitely the go-to. So it doesn't surprise me that in that game, they were only 20% because, again, Dalton Schoen's the guy if they're wanting to go there. Brady Oliveira reached 100-plus yards before the half, also known as, I think he reached that in the first quarter, actually, to be corrected. Before half, 14/101 yards, 7.2 average. 14 rushes for 101 yards, that was. So 7.2 average. In the second half, 8 yards on 7 attempts. So 1.1 yards average. So this is when BC really started to figure out Brady Oliveira. And also we just kept running the same goddamn play over and over and over again. They rushed for 121 yards, fewest since September 16th. First half, 16 for 105, 6.6 average. First half, 11 for 16, 1.5 average. Their touchdown on a block punt was the first in a playoff game since 2008, Edmonton, Justin Cooper for the Eskimos. The Bombers intercepted Vernon Adams Jr. 3 times after making none against him in the regular season in 62 pass attempts. Kenny Lawler accounted for more than half of Winnipeg's receiving with 83 yards on 6 catches among 14 total. We're led by an offensive line with 47 combined career playoff games started, 35 playoff, 12 GC. What's GC? Or Grey Cup. I'm stupid. Survived 2 missed field goals in 5 attempts versus BC without a long return. I can't remember exactly the lengths of both of those. I know one of them is 34 yards, and I think one of them is like 43 yards, if I am mistaken. But that is pretty much that big sheet of beautiful stuff. There's so much in here. Other additional historical notes. We'll just add just a little more here. Other teams from Winnipeg and Montreal have played in the Grey Cup during strictly amateur football times or wartime. The Winnipeg Tamay Tigers played Ottawa in 1925, while the Montreal AAA Winged Wheelers won the Grey Cup in 1931. That game included the first ever Grey Cup touchdown pass. During the service era, from 1942 to 1944, the Winnipeg RCAF Bombers played in 2 Grey Cups. The Montreal Saint Hyacinth, I have no idea how to say this, Donnacona Navy team captured the 1944 Grey Cup title. The Montreal Navy team, we'll just say that, captured the Grey Cup title. There's a lot of good stuff in that document. So where did you say you found that, Rick?
I found this on CFL.ca.
Yes, so if anyone wants to check it out, CFL.ca, that's where you can find, it was just PDF, right? Got all the stuff on it?
Yes.
Glorious, good stuff. We still have a bit more to talk about, and we have been really dragging this on. But this has been good.
Yours truly. Good. So I just found this interesting thing while you're talking over on GreyCutFestival.ca. Mm-hmm. So the fan state of the league is Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yep.
First of all, free to all fans that want to go. You have to go online to register on a first come, first served basis. First 500 fans receive a coin toss replica coin used on game day.
So is this like an online thing? Or is this
No, so this is an in-person thing. So basically it's an hour long. And you know how you have like the state of the league by the commissioner,
by Randy Ambrosi.
This is fan state of the league, so where fans can go and ask him questions.
Oh, I like that.
So I just registered, so I got to make sure that I'm up early Friday morning and get there to be one of the.
Can you get an extra coin, Rick?
Oh, I'm getting myself a coin.
Oh, I know you're gonna get yourself a coin.
I don't know.
See if you can find a spare.
I will. I'm gonna try to get there anyways.
There you go. Drag our Argonauts friend who will not be name dropped.
Yes.
There we go.
No, I was just looking at the different schedule and everything.
No, absolutely.
Okay, so you did that. I will bring this up because I was asked by Carter to bring this up. Yep. So those of you who are going on Sunday, I know it's a bit early because everything could change in less than 24 hours. However, those people that are going on Sunday, keep in mind that as of now, it is listed as 1 degree in the evening, but it feels like -3 with 30% chance of rain.
Most likely freezing rain.
Oh. If you're going to go to the game on Sunday, bring your backpack, bring all your rain gear. Because I'm telling you, if it was like that Edmonton game,
I don't think you need to bring a backpack. Just dress warm.
Oh no! But if it rained like that big rainstorm that we had versus Edmonton, where it was delayed for 2 hours and a pouring down freaking rainstorm,
fair.
You are going to be soaked and you're going to be cold.
Fair enough. I'll let you make the recommendations. You're going to be at the game. No, but I mean, there's all that. Was there anything else that we were going to cover,
Yes.
Rick? Yes. Okay, good.
I was going to cover anyways.
Yes.
So, a couple of things. First of all those fans who are coming to Hamilton this week, be prepared to be spending money on cab fare and Ubers because the Hamilton city busing is on strike and you will be having to plan a lot of travel. Hence why I love where I live, because it's only a 10-minute walk to the stadium. Keep in mind, so Thursday, I'm just going to go over the event schedule. I know you don't care, just to drag this on to go more and more. So Thursday morning, we have the YMCA Hamilton Rise and Shine Young Trailblazers Breakfast from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We have Community Race to the Cup presented by First Ontario from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. We have day one of the Fan Central from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Pure Later Grey Cup Trophy Deliver is 1 p.m. on Thursday. Team Headquarters presented by Coors Light is 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. Spirit of Edmonton Team Party, 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. Sirius XM Kickoff Party, which I will not be at attendance because there's going to be another event that I will be at this night. That is going to be from 4:30 to 8 p.m. CFL Awards will be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then also after the CFL Awards that I did not buy tickets for, we have a singer by the name of Shaggy performing at 9 p.m. at the Falls View Casino in Niagara Falls.
No.
Then we have
when you say
Friday.
Shaggy, I think Scooby-Doo. Like
that's what I was thinking. I've never even heard of the person named Shaggy, but it is what it is.
Maybe they're half decent.
Fan of the State, of which I just registered, is for an hour. That is from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I will be walking home from downtown. It's only a 2-hour walk. As doctors say, I need to get exercise. So I will be walking the 2 hours from my house, from downtown to my house. I've done it before.
There you go.
Calgary Grey Cup Committee Pancake Breakfast is from 11 to 1 p.m. Fan Centrals from 11 to 8 p.m.
There we go.
Now, the CFL AA Legends Luncheon. This is one of the most popular events. This is where you go have lunch with the Hall of Famers from all over the years.
There you go.
There's going to be a bunch of Ticats alum there, including Brandon Banks. So that will be interesting.
Brandon Banks is going to be there?
Brandon Banks is going to be there. This was $170 for this ticket for this event.
Wow.
If it wasn't for that price range, I would have gone to it. You have the Team Party Headquarters, which is presented by Coors Light, 12 to 1. Spirit of Edmonton Team Party. Now, this was another big one that I've heard from fans that if you're to go to anything, this is must go, which is 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then the almighty Carrie Underwood concert at First Ontario Centre, presented by Coors Light at 8 p.m. on Friday. Now, the day before the Grey Cup, we have our Spirit of Edmonton Breakfast, the Sponsorship X Academy, the Athletes in Action Breakfast, Calgary Grey Cup Committee Pancake Breakfast, Fan Central, the Santa Claus and Grey Cup Parade. We have
Rick, you're just filling us in. One's missing any of the events now.
The Built in the Hammer Grey Cup Music Festival, the Team Headquarters Spirit of Edmonton Team Party. This is one that I'm going to. The Cheer Extravaganza.
Well, yeah, you have a family
member.
So
my girlfriend's daughter is part of this, and It's all the cheerleaders across from all teams. So all those people who want to go look up cheerleaders, that's your event. No, I'm kidding. So that's 3 to 5 on Saturday. Keep in mind, this whole week, if you go down to James Street, they're having a block party the whole week, and it's free. All these events that I've mentioned, you have to pay for, but the James Street block party is free for anyone that wants to go down.
And is that the one with Monster Truck?
I believe that is the one with Monster Truck.
Hell yes! Go see Monster Truck, baby, the band, not Monster Jam, the band. I have to specify.
I don't know when they're performing. I just know that they're performing that day.
They're probably going to be near one of the headliners, I imagine.
Yeah. Caretakers, which Bob Young's nickname is Caretaker.
There you go.
Game day warm-up hosted by Tiger Town Council, presented by Cooper's Equipment Rentals, 2 to 5. The neighborhood block party for 3 hours before the Grey Cup, and then the 110th Grey Cup at 6 p.m.
Which is the reason we talked about it for 45 minutes. This has been...
Oh, and I'm sure they're giving out some swag at the doors, too. Which they're going to every swag that I can get my hands on.
You're going to need to get some extra swag. You're going to need to send me some swag.
Oh, that's okay. I have a family member coming to the Great Cup, so I'll be able to get extra swag.
Oh, do they not want the shit?
Oh, I'm sure one of us will get extra shit.
Okay.
So if you want, I will send you some swag.
Keep me posted, Rick. I'm relying on you here.
Yes. So before we finish,
yes,
it's going to come down to the final question, which I already know where Carter's going with this. So, Carter, the big question is, who's your pick to win the Grey Cup?
My pick to win the Grey Cup is the Bombers, baby. Is the Bombers. Is the Blue Bombers. We're reclaiming the throne. We're reclaiming the shown throne. It's happening, baby. I said when the Bombers lost last year, check it out on the Nolan Hockey Podcast, when the Toronto Argonauts beat Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I said the dynasty has not died. It has been delayed. And it is time we prove that statement right. It's time we get it done. It's time to bring the cup back where it belongs, baby. Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's fucking happening. Rick.
Also, I will be just looking at
Rick, I had so much energy there. You gotta keep it up, man.
I was looking at the interesting stuff that they had for the James Street party. Anyways, just to piss Carter off, the only difference that's going to come out of this game is Brady Oliveira is going to be the difference maker.
Olive Garden is running fucking wild, I'm telling you.
I am going to go because they are the hot team. And I said this last week, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going with the Alouettes, only because they're in the Hamilton Ticat homeroom.
And you know what? You bet on the Lions last week, so I'm okay with you making that bet. We shall see.
That's okay.
We shall see. I'm excited. I'm through the moon. I can't believe how much stuff they're actually having Grey Cup weekend. And actually, one thing important to note, I saw this on 3 Down Nation. Let me pull this up. This actually came out while we were recording. Saturday is the way. Uh-oh. CFL is doubling down on a recent change to its playoff scheduling, permanently moving its divisional semifinals and finals to Saturday. Just an important thing to mention.
There's something that they had mentioned earlier about that, but it was just rumor. And they are going with a balanced schedule next year. So that means every team plays home and home against everyone. That means that we will be able to see every West team at your stadium next year.
Every East team.
So no more. Every team at your stadium.
No, I was saying you said every West team, so I said every East team.
Oh, I meant like every team across the league.
Yes.
Yes.
But anyways,
and there's
let's not get too far away. We're talking Grey Cup, baby.
Oh, one other thing that I will mention, if anyone wants to buy any tickets for any event, the only one that is sold out is the CFL AA Legend Luncheon. But if you want to go and purchase any tickets for any of the events, you can go to greycupfestival.ca/events to buy your tickets.
CFL, please sponsor us. Anyways, I think that's pretty much what we've had for the most part. There was a lot to talk about. There's a lot we did talk about. I hope you guys stuck around. If you stuck around, seriously, smash the fucking shit.
You guys are troopers.
That you're an absolute trooper, man. Smash the shit out of that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe.
The original OGs.
Subscribe if you have not already to CFL Central as well, to the Nolan Hockey Podcast and Ticats Talk.
Which will have the awards up Friday at some point.
Yes, we're going to have the awards up this week. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And then obviously, Grey Cup game, baby. It's going to happen. We're going to have a video coming out afterwards. And I will either be through the moon with happiness or absolutely fucking depressed. And so, without further ado, I will see you guys. I'm letting Rick go in first.
If Carter comes out with a video Sunday night pissed off, Winnipeg lost. If he comes out high as a kite from excitement, Calgary has won. Just hopefully there's no holes. I mean, Winnipeg, sorry, my apologies.
Montreal, there's mean?
Holes. No, I'm saying you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
If you're hyped and excited, bouncing off the walls, hopefully there's no holes in your room when you go to record this from bouncing off the wall. Oh, if you want hype, just get your brother to do the video.
The video will just be us like spinning in circles. We'll be like so fucking happy. You know how it is. Anyways, there's a lot that we have covered. There is a lot more to cover. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We will see you guys next time.